Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Kay Cote. I am your podcast host here at Action Coach in Central Texas. And today I have Liz Lathan, co-founder and CMO of the Community Factory, on the show as my guest. We're going to be talking about her business, her journey to business leadership, and the challenges and best practices that she's found along the way. If this is your first time on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop episodes like this one. Welcome, Liz. It's so nice to meet you. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here and thrilled to meet you too.
Awesome. Well, let's dive right in. I'd like to know, share a brief about yourself and the business.
Sure. Well, I am 20 years corporate event marketing primarily, and the business is 2 years old. The Community Factory was founded really because my corporate background is all about building events that people come to, but we never really spent time worrying about what the people did once they walked into the room. And so the Community Factory really focuses on what happens to the people when they get into your event, helping
Mm.
people form community and create really meaningful connections that transcend business.
Oh, this is super cool. I'm super excited to dive in because I noticed that like community aspect, and I think that's such a strong component to business. So this is going to be a really fun conversation. So dive into your role. Like, what does your day to day look like in what you do?
Wow. Okay. Well, so we have two sides of the business. One is the client facing side. That's Community Factory, where we help companies either create community at their events or help them strategize around how to create community and run it year round through fractional community management support if they don't have an in-house community manager, or just helping them kind of guide and get things together so their in-house community manager can pretty much put the campaign together for them. And then the other side of the business is we run our own community. It's called Club Ichi, and it's for B2B event marketers. And it's pretty huge, over 5,000 members. And so we spend a lot of time creating content and interviewing and bringing people together for in-person and virtual programs. So we kind of view that as our proof of concept for how we believe year-round community should feel. So it's the time is split between doing client work and then doing our own passion projects.
Oh, that is fun to hear too. I bet your day is completely filled with like so many cool things and components.
It is.
So
Today we did a live broadcast, a 30-minute live TV show. We had a whole producing team. We had like a whole bunch of different segments, just like a news show. So it's always fun.
oh, fun. I love that. Okay, so this is kind of like your day to day you're looking at. So, how many employees do y'all have right now?
There's three of us. So the two co-founders, and then we have a community manager on staff. And then, bring in contractors to help with things we need. The core three of us.
Awesome, awesome. And how long have y'all been in business?
2 years. So, we kind of started our community journey back in 2017, but my co-founder and I, Nicole Ashibodu, she and I had worked with some other friends to create an experiential agency. And we did that for 4 years or so and then launched the Community Factory in 2022.
Awesome. Well, kind of like looking at who primarily your business serves. It like if I were to be in the audience, how would I know I would be a good client for you?
It's interesting because, we, as a marketer, you think a lot about who is your target persona. And the people that bring us in vary. So a lot of people find us through the event work that we do. So it's the director of events or VP of events that wants to add more engagement into their events. They're not necessarily thinking that they want to create community. They're just thinking our events are boring: keynote, breakout, expo, cheese cubes. What else can we do? And so we're able to kind of come in and give them a little bit of an engagement consultation and then facilitate some of the activities if they need that support on site at their events. But then sometimes it's more of a VP of marketing who looks and says, we've led with product led growth, or we're working on event led growth. I think we want to try community led growth. So we really need to look at a go to market strategy around how do we build community and have that become more than just a champion program or an advocacy program, really make it a community that's going to drive growth. So it kind of, we talk to both of those, I guess, target personas.
Mhm. Okay. And what would you say that is the one thing that makes your business unique? Like, why do your customers and clients choose you?
Oh, I think it's our energy. That's what we get told most of the time. So we, just bring a little bit of a different, not a McKinsey Bain kind of, we're going to come in here and do a strategy with you, but much more of a like, this is all you, you've got it inside you. Let's pull it out together and really kind of drive the business forward. So I think we attract a certain type of client that wants that different kind of energy in their strategy.
For sure. And what is one thing that you wish people knew more about your business?
Ooh. Okay, this is going to sound weird, but that we would like money for our ideas. Because,
Mm,
when you've grown up being on the corporate side and you do these passion projects and all these things, you give advice freely. Now, when you run a business and shift to the entrepreneurial side, it's hard both from us as the business owners to say, I would love to do that with you. It costs money. And to have also people come to us and not just go, can I pick your brain for 30 minutes, but to say, I value the insights and ideas that you share, and I would love to hire you for a consultation.
mm,
That is the hardest thing for us.
definitely. I understand where you're coming from there for sure. This actually leads perfectly into kind of like our marketing, like how you're talking about your business, how you're putting yourself out there in the industry. What are some of the marketing pursuits you've been doing that you've been finding success in?
Yeah, I think probably 99% of our business is on LinkedIn. If it's not referrals or word of mouth, that's actually the majority of the way people find us is, word of mouth. But our marketing platform of choice is LinkedIn because we can provide thought leadership, we can have conversations in the DMs, we can, really grow that community with people tagging each other in. So from video content to long form thought leadership to every afternoon at 2:15 p.m. Central Time, I put a post called What If? And it's just an engaging idea that what if you did this at your event? And so that's really grown a nice following of just helping people come up with other ideas that maybe they hadn't heard of before.
Oh, definitely. And are y'all using like a CRM at all in your tracking of your leads or people you're working with?
We really haven't. We're starting to implement that more in our community side because that's 5,000 people. So that's something to keep tabs on. Our client side is, fewer than 10 clients. We keep it real tight just so we know that we can serve them to our highest level. So we don't really have the need for that yet, but as we scale and grow, that'll come in.
For sure. Well, what are your plans for the next 3 to 5 years with your business?
I think we've really had this conversation of which is the tip of the spear. Is it the community factory and we run Club Ichi as our proof of concept? Or is it Club Ichi and the community factory can also help with engagement and community consultation? And I think that we are seeing a shift in our target audiences, especially in the event and marketing industry, that the people who haven't been left behind and are very busy. They want ideas, they need ideas, but they don't have time to like leave the office or leave their guest bedroom where they work and actually go to things, but they want to consume more content. So I think we're starting to shift toward Club Ichi being more of a media property. So we still do in-person and virtual events, but also creating a magazine, and we have several email newsletter properties. And now with this web TV show that we're doing, I think shifting there so that we can create new, different, and inspiring content for our audience will really be where we focus over the next 12 to 18 months, and then driving leads in from that to support the community factory side of the house. But it's been a really fun, as entrepreneurs do, it's a fun journey to learn when and where and how to pivot to kind of keep things fresh and keep the leads coming in.
Well, I really am curious about the kind of the marketing or the media side of things like the magazine, the web TV. How are you going to be generating revenue through that side of things? Or do you plan, is that more of like just a funnel? How's that going to work?
I think it's a little bit of both. So we do have enough eyeballs within this niche industry that I think we can start selling media partnerships and advertising for some of these properties. The community side of the house has a premium membership as well. So pushing more toward the premium members. I think that'll drive enough revenue also to just kind of keep the lights on and keep things going and allow us to get out into the community even more.
Definitely. Well, that is super cool. Well, kind of like shifting back the focus a little bit to you, I'd love to learn about your journey in growing a business and how you went from like in the traditional sense of like corporate office or you were in the working environment into entrepreneurship. How was that transition like for you?
It was, as I think for everyone, a little terrifying. I come from a long line of entrepreneurs. My dad and my grandfather were entrepreneurs, and I can honestly tell you that both of them really taught me absolutely nothing about entrepreneurship. So, because really the path that I was on was you're going to go to college and you're going to get a job, and then it's going to be great. And so I took that path and I went to college and I got a job and I spent 20 years doing those corporate jobs that you do. But looking at my dad and my grandfather and going, yeah, but they built something cool that was theirs. They didn't work for someone else to make a lot of money. And so the idea was always there, but I never knew what I would do, it never really hit me. And then my co-founder, Nicole, and I had started an event that was just bringing people together for conversations. It was not intended to be a business. It was simply intended to be an event that could sit alongside industry conferences and bring people together in a new and different way that truly built community. And it didn't make any money. In fact, the first one we lost $900, but it was really, that passion project idea. And someone had come to a couple of those events and asked if I would ever consider leaving corporate to do that full time. And I thought, I'd love to, but corporate pays me a lot of money and there's benefits. So probably not. And he was like, well, I'm thinking of starting up this agency and I could probably get us through year one with the starter clients and we could go build it all together. So having had a little bit of a safety net there, knowing that we probably had a year to pull this off before I had to pack it in and go back to finding a corporate job. So we did it. We took the leap, and 4 years later, we grew it into 4 companies and 100 employees. And it was just this magical, really fun run. So then in 2022, when Nicole and I decided to step away from that agency and started on our own, it was still terrifying, but having already kind of taken that one major risk with a little safety net, it was kind of like, okay, I think we can do this. So the mental state to step away and be like, it's all us this time. There's no daddy Warbucks to fall back on, like we got to figure this thing out. So it's, year one was like insane and awesome and incredible. Year two was tough. It was, we pared back, we took on 2 clients that we could really focus on, and there were some challenges with those. And so year 3 is like, all right, revisit. She and I, we did an event in Amsterdam, and we went to visit the Heineken Museum, and we were just doing so much stuff that year, just so much stuff. And I looked at her at the end of that tour and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy makes one product and he makes 800,000 of them an hour. Why are we trying to do so much? We've got to just focus, figure out our one product and redo this thing. So that's what 2024 has been all about. It's truly focusing, knowing exactly where our zone of genius is, and rebuilding it. And this year has been an epic ride.
Oh my goodness, that is inspiring, big time. Like, especially how you were able to like have that knowledge. You're like, oh, we need to do something, and then refocus. So that's super inspiring. Thank you for sharing that. Kind of like looking at goal setting. Like you have these new goals that you're working towards. How do you approach goal setting, and how many goals do you set at once?
Yeah, well, one of the things I do at the beginning of every year is read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And there's just a great framework for goal setting that includes mindset, includes actual goal setting, and includes kind of, here are the things that you need to do. So that's something I actually generally go through twice a year. I'm just going through it again right now and kind of resetting everything. But I think it's revenue goals, it's personal, we actually set personal travel goals, like where do we want to go this year and how do we design our lives so that we get there. And then, what are we going to do with the family? So trying to build in goals around when are the vacations going to happen? When can we kind of settle in and settle out and go take some time and then come back and be ready for the business?
Definitely. Well, this has been so inspiring. I love this conversation we're having. And now I'd like to dive into a little section called our rapid fire section, where we give you 4 questions to answer. Rapid fire, first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready for some rapid fire?
I'm ready.
I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of fun. What is the key to success for you?
Oh, okay. I can't even think about this. Okay. For me, I think the key to success is if I'm having fun. Because if I'm not having fun, then why am I even doing it? And that energy conveys to everything that I do, and people can feel that. So it's got to be fun.
Yes. What is one piece of advice you have for other business owners?
Ooh, trust but verify. Because here's a lot of things. We put our trust in a whole lot of people, and a whole lot of people offer to help, but then you never fully get that commitment from them. And so you hang a lot of hope on these people that are like, oh, no, I'll be there for you. And they're not. So trust but verify.
That is great advice. The third question you kind of already answered, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What is one book or piece of content, anything that has resonated with you that you've taken in most recently?
Oh, okay. So definitely the Think and Grow Rich, but you know who I read a lot over and over again is the Russell Brunson trilogy of dot-com secrets, expert secrets, and traffic secrets. I just, it doesn't matter where you are in your business or what you're doing. There are just so many inspiring nuggets of information out of there that you can apply to every piece of the funnel you're working on.
Definitely. Last question is if you could choose only one area of business you could rapidly improve in overnight, what would it be?
Do I have unlimited funds, or where am I with this question?
It is you can pick as many as what you want, but if there's one that really stands out, what would it be?
I think honestly, it is truly moving to the point where we are scaling the content, because right now it is just the three of us and we are producing and creating and running absolutely everything. And it's a rush, but it's exhausting. And so being able to be in a place where we can bring in other people and start having that process scale, whether they're interns or whether they're people in the industry, whatever, I think if I could switch that today and have the money for it, I think that would change it a lot for us.
100%. Well, thank you for answering those rapid fire. Those were excellent. And before we get on to our final question, how can people find you?
Oh, well, I live and breathe LinkedIn, so you can find me there, Liz Lathan on LinkedIn, but our website is thecommunityfactory.com, and you can jump in there and find me too.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Liz, for our last question today. What is most inspiring to you today?
Oh, today, what's most inspiring to me is truly the community that we brought together. I mentioned earlier we did a live stream today, and the people that just get excited that we're putting out new content, the people that show up for the content, and the people that watch it on demand and then tell us that they watched it, it just feels like we're doing things right and the people appreciate it. And I'm inspired by them because we constantly change and iterate and try new things because we want to try to stay in front and help them. And I feel like it's working, and it inspires me to see that happen.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for bringing the energy on today's episode. It was such a joy to talk to you.
Oh, thanks. You too.